Okay, guys. So now this video, I'm going to get into the healing process that God took me on in order to heal from the betrayal and to see past it and to see these people in different ways. So, one of my friends who betrayed me, that was a best friend of mine, her and I were pregnant together. We both had baby boys together. We both were godmother of our children together. We were really, really close. You know, talked every day. She would come down to my work and, we were just very, very close. And when she betrayed me and was making up lies about me and talking about me, and little did I know she like had a lot of feelings towards me that I had no idea were even a thing. This opened up my eyes to see that there was seriously a problem that I thought was never a problem. And for her to have these feelings towards me, that something had to have caused this. And I remember God just kept telling me that it really wasn't me. And I didn't understand what he meant by that, but I just kept walking it out. Well, then some of my other people in my life that were friends and family members that were maybe like in my darkest need, like rubbing salt in the wound, I was upset too because it was like I was getting betrayed over and over and over again. And it was like there was no compassion, no mercy. So obviously, we know that people can be, not compassionate and no mercy, just like what they did to Jesus. But I couldn't understand why there was just no empathy. And obviously, I knew it was spiritual. But God more or less was telling me that every single person that was doing this was miserable with their own life. And, the enemy was manifesting through them with their own rejection. So they had serious rejection wounds, okay? And they wanted to reject me and sabotage me to make their self feel accepted, okay? It made them feel better by doing that. So sometimes we think it has to do with us, but it has very little to do with us. It actually has everything to do with them and their own life. So, like this friend of mine, she was rejected a lot by boyfriends. She was rejected by friends. I was the only person in her head that didn't reject her. But instead of her handling it a way to where I was showing her that I cared about her, it was helping her in order to reject me. And then she wanted what I had because I was a charismatic, optimistic type of person, and she was the one that liked to like sit in her beer, is to say, the way people talk. And I was more or less a very optimistic person. And I had God, and I'd talk about God, and I wasn't perfect, of course, but I had more of that optimistic type of personality, and she was more miserable. So God was more or less showing me that it really didn't have to do with me, that misery liked company. She was going through her own stuff, but wanted to sabotage me and betray me because she was miserable. Just like Joseph's brothers were miserable at their circumstances, so they wanted to bring Joseph down. Like God was kind of showing me that this friend of mine didn't like how the girls in the group wanted tips from makeup with me or hair tips, and that I knew a lot about, diet and nutrition and stuff at the time to like lose weight, even though I had the eating disorder and stuff. And some of them maybe wanted to lose weight. And even though I wasn't doing it in the proper way, there was things that they wanted to know from me. Like there's so many factors to why people could betray people, but we always just assume like that we're not good enough. And that is just not true. So God had me see the big picture in order to be able to heal properly. So once I realized it wasn't me, and it was a her problem and it was a them problem, I was able to have eyes of compassion, because even though they were being not so nice, I was able to look at it in a different lens. And then this was the game changer, because once I looked at it differently, I wasn't taking offense. I wasn't holding on to unforgiveness. I was able to let it go and pray for the person, because they truly didn't know any better, just like Jesus said when he was on the cross, forgive them, Father, they don't know. So that was the game changer in healing. And then the next video, I'm going to get into how God cleared my name. You all have a wonderful day. I'll see you in my next video. Bye, guys.